Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist The Abyss, and you're watching my review for Bleach, Chapter 591. Right now, this chapter doesn't really deserve to have a lot of time devoted to it, so I'm just going to try and make this quick. Um, Most of the chapter was just stupid comedy, really. It was just a giant waste of time. Um, I understand that he has to try and explain why these Iranka are here, why they're doing what Mayuri says, and all that. But he didn't need to take 7 freaking pages to do it, and he certainly didn't have to try and make it comedic. Okay, no, because what Kubo does this all the freaking time, all the time. He just adds in comedy wherever he feels like, and it completely ruins the mood because he always goes from serious, dead serious, to comedy, then right back to serious again, and expects you to like still take things seriously after that. Not like how can I take this seriously when you were just trying your very hardest to make me laugh? No, it doesn't work that way. Right now, it'd be one thing if the comedy was like the reverse harem jutsu from Naruto a couple of weeks ago. All right, because in that instance, it doesn't actually. There's no actual break in the action. All right, things just continued on. It just flowed. All right, but here in Bleach, like in this chapter, it was just a complete shift in focus. It's like what was going on with Gigi didn't even matter anymore. Well, it doesn't matter, but you know what I mean. All right, it's you can at least pretend that it matters. All right, all right. So this comedy stuff was just stupid. He was that serious at the end of the last chapter, and then all of a sudden, boom, comedy, and then back to, oh man, it's the Arrancar versus the Soul Reapers. They're Squad 11. You won't be able to beat them. And it's like he expects me to care now. No, you just let me know that these guys are complete jokes. That's it. That's all they are. They're jokes. All right. So why should I care? All right. That it was just stupid. All right. It was stupid. All right. These dudes. We never lose to Shinigami. Let me ask you a question. What is it that happened the last time we saw you? Exactly. You're getting beaten by Shinigami, alright? So forget these guys, alright? Forget these guys. I don't even know why they're here, to be honest, right? Because Mayuri had this little mini speech in there where he talked about how clearly the soldiers have to die because they're going against the 13 Court Guard squads, whether they want to or not, alright? So it's obvious to me that he just doesn't really care that much about them. Didn't really show much emotion. I mean, maybe a tiny bit at the end where he says, like, "Oh, those were the words of your former head captain," you know. But like, he didn't. He clearly just does not care about these dudes that much at all. So if you don't care about them, why not just take them out yourself? Why bring these Arankar in when they're not needed at all? There is no point. Okay, listen. All right. I've probably said this before, but I'll say it again anyway. Tite Kubo is addicted to plot twists. All right, he's addicted to plot twists. All right, his editors probably just sit there week after week and give him Klondike bars just to get him to put plot twists in his manga. You know, like how the slogan for Klondike bar is, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" Put plot twists in your manga. Apparently, that's what he's willing to do to get a Klondike bar. Because that's probably what they're doing. Moving on. Moving on. There's a part of this chapter where the Arankar are talking about how that blood hit Ikaku a while ago, which I don't know how they know that because they weren't there yet, but whatever. Maybe they were just sitting there hiding, waiting to be called. I don't know, but again, whatever. Um, and they end up revealing that the blood hitting Ikaku's face pretty much means nothing. So my big question here is, why do it then? All right, there was no reason to assume that the blood from the zombies had the same effect as Gigi's blood, as her ability. There's no reason to assume that her ability was transferred through to the zombies as well. All right, the only reason I even proposed it was because he made it so obvious and he put so much focus on the blood hitting Ikaku's face. All right, so pretty much what he did was he brought attention to something that didn't need to have attention brought to it, just to confirm later that it didn't need to have attention brought to it. So like, what's the why? Why I And another thing, Charlotte Coolhorn. That's his name, right? Charlotte Coolhorn. I'm going completely based off of memory here because I just do not care enough to look his name up. I just do not care anymore. I think his name was Charlotte Coolhorn. I kind of remember him and Yumichika feuding back in Fake Core Town at one of the freaking pillars. I don't really care that much though to look up his name, but I'm pretty sure it's Charlotte Coolhorn. All right, but this dude implies yet again that Gigi is a guy. What? Why is Giselle's gender being treated like it's a plot point and that it's going to get this big reveal in the end, like, oh my god, she really was a boy. You know, like what's the, like, this isn't UQ Holder. You know, like what this is not a major plot point. Why is it being treated like one? I just don't get it. Like, is he going to reveal later on in yet another plot twist that, you know, Giselle is really from this race where their gender determines their random power-ups in dire situations. You know, when it's revealed that she's actually a guy, then she's going to turn Super Saiyan 4 and beat everybody. No, and none, this stuff isn't going to happen. All right, so like, I don't know. Maybe the editors are trying to get him to extend the manga, so he's just trying to focus on stuff that like no one cares about, and that matters literally not even this much. It doesn't matter at all. It just doesn't matter at all. So I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me just finish this review because 7 minutes is way too much time to be spending on Bleach. All right, so let me just move on. The last thing that happens in this chapter is that it's revealed that Toshiro was turned into a zombie by Giselle. All right. Um, the the last time I will admit that I wasn't really surprised, but I was caught off guard, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't sitting there like, oh my god, it's Toshiro, but I was like, oh. Hmm. You know, like that was my reaction to seeing this because the last time I saw him when he was all like knocked out on the ground, all right, after one-shotting freaking Kangdu, I was thinking he was pretty much screwed because anybody could just come along now and finish him off. But at the same time, I thought that there might be a possibility of him being saved by Hiyori. But as we learned not so long ago, Kubo has no clue what to do with half these characters, so he just wrote them off with some stupid BS in order to launch some makeshift machine to shoot that copies off of Kukaku and freaking shoot them up to the Spirit Palace. All right, so clearly that can't happen. So it's just revealed that he really was screwed in the end, and now he's being controlled by Giselle, and he's going to have to fight these dudes. Um, listen, I having Toshiro here may make things a little interesting because it's obvious he's not going to die because he's Toshiro Hitsugaya, and there are too many fangirls to kill him off. But just like with Byakuya, and you remember what happened last time, right? With Byakuya when he was going to die, but then he didn't die. Yeah, so the fangirls have some crazy power in Japan where you know if they riot too much, then you know Shueisha has to tell Jump, and that they have to tell the editors, and then the editors have to tell the mangaka, like, no, you can't kill this dude off. All right, freaking Fujoshi and fangirls, man, their power is over 9,000. Like it's gotta be. All right, Jesus. But it's clear he's a guy is not gonna die. So while Maer is willing to kill the others, he's not gonna kill Hitsugaya off. All right, so that kind of makes things interesting. Well, no, it doesn't, because you know he's just gonna end up being saved in the end. Um, or Giselle's just gonna get beaten, and then he's gonna turn back to normal, because the Soul Reapers don't have to die in order to be controlled. The Quincy's do, but they don't. Um, you know, I can only really imagine this turning out badly for Hitsugaya. Not in terms of like life or death or injury or anything like that. I'm talking about like in terms of his character, because him getting controlled like this, all it really does is make him look bad. All right. I mean, there's a chance. I mean, it would be worth it if this all ended with him getting some type of like major character development and character progression and all that. But I highly doubt that, since this is, the final arc, the final saga, really, But I highly doubt it's going to give him some major character development. So I just don't really see a point in this. All it does is make him look bad. He's really all it is another plot twist. That's all it is. All right. So congratulations, Kubo. You got another Klondike bar. All right, but that's all it really is. It's just another plot twist for the sake of having a plot twist. Like, he has so many characters, he just doesn't know what to do with them all. So he's just trying to take a few and say, how about I have a plot twist with them? How about I have a plot twist with them? How about I have a plot twist with them? That's where freaking Ganju and the Fullbringers are. They're just waiting for their turn to become a plot twist. That's all these dudes are doing right now. Green Zhao too, just sitting around waiting for his chance to become a plot twist. Why have Green Zhao come down with Orihime and Chad when I can have two plot twists for the price of one? Hey, and so, oh man, I just don't see this turning out well. So I'm just gonna give this chapter 5 out of 10. It's just not very good. All I have is negative for this chapter. I really don't see anything positive at all. Um, yeah, I just don't see anything good about this. So I'll just give it a 5 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Um, and I'll end this review off with the biggest question I have coming out of this chapter. What would you do for a Klondike bar? See you guys next time.